have said this before, that I didn't know I was on the self mastery journey until it became such a trend on the internet. I was like, so this is what I've been doing for years. I've been mastering myself. So I think now I have the skill and the tools to teach it. So I'm gonna teach what I learned. So maybe somebody else can master themselves. Humanity has always been like this specimen. I just love to look deep down. Why do we do the things we do? It started with me, and that's why it's called self mastery. I was mastering myself, which led me now into teaching how to master you. I was intrigued with this avatar and I wanted to know everything about it. The thing about self mastery is they don't teach it in school and you just don't find it anyhow. You can go about your life 60 years, 70 years, 80 years being a complete idiot. You can have all this amount of money, this well paying job, have a family, be a father, but you haven't mastered yourself. I wrote a post a few days ago where I said that people who with no self-awareness, because self-awareness is the first thing when you want to master yourself. Like the first thing you have to have is self-awareness, because how are you going to master self if you're not aware of the self? And so I wrote a post that said people with no self-awareness worry me, because what do you mean you move around the world completely clueless or ignorant of how you affect people and your surroundings? That's a ticking time bomb. Like, looking back, although it's such a blur now because it's been so many years from before who I was and who I am now, it's been, let's say, for the past 9 years that I've been on this journey, almost a decade. I can't even remember who the other ticking time bomb person was. Like she was all over the place. And that's why I recommend self mastery, because you can never go wrong with mastering yourself. I mean, it saves you a lot, it protects you a lot, and it guides you. The title is Most People Will Never Master Themselves Because They Are Cowards, they're liars, and they don't have the discipline to do the hard stuff, or are too lazy. Like things like honesty is a foreign concept to many people. Like when you're asked a direct question, most people are too afraid to answer in a direct way. But it's because they haven't cultivated the sense of who they are. And that's where self mastery comes in. Because if you're a coward, it's because you don't know who you are. And so you're not sure of who you are as a person. And that's why you show up in the world as a coward. And cowards, they rally up and group and move in groups. And mostly they attack the person who is sure of themselves. I've seen this so many times, whether it's in families, in workspaces, whether it's in friendships, and they usually it's all the same with humans. They attack the person who moves alone, who is confident, who is sure of themselves. They slander, they do smear campaigns just because this person does not move how the rest of you do. I saw this post and it could not be further from the truth. Like the minute you just become different, even with things like being vegan, it has triggered so many people. Like it's my body, like how I eat. How does that affect you? Moving how I move, how does it affect you? Me not shrinking myself to accommodate you or to make you feel like you're part of something. How does that affect you? I do not shrink myself for nobody. And so now I understand why the more evolved you get, the more you remove yourself from people, the more you isolate or just don't move with the rest. Because most people are not on the level of thinking that you are. And so you'll always be met with opposition. Because if you don't understand yourself, again, which is where self mastery comes in, you don't understand me, the other person. And so you'll always have conflict. Because you don't have the mental capacity to come into terms or to understand whatever is playing out in your day-to-day relationship.